Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome, welcome. I am a little cold, so I thought I'd put something that might warm up my hands a little bit here. We'll see how long I keep these on. But I took one of those everything showers, and so my hair's wet. It's like air drying right now, so my body's really cold. So I have like warm slippers right out of the dryer on because I just like they don't have hard bottoms; they're just the soft kind. Heavenly to put on. Oh my goodness! And then yeah, just layered up some of my shirts and stuff. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. We are going to be planning from April 14th through the 20th. Again, this April feels like it's going to be gone in a flash here. And this last week has been huge. So I'm trying to still wrap my head around things. But I'm going to go over that a little bit because, yeah, a lot happened. And I'm trying to think of anything up top here. Oh, we're going to be using this that I pulled out last week that I'm like, oh, that's really pretty. I'd love to use it. So no stickers this week. I'm going to use these, and at least I don't think so. I brought my stickers over. There might be like some in my little... I'll see. I might use a couple here and there if I can find them. And then I pulled these three. So the pink is like a 772 Tombow. Yellow is a 991. And blue is 291. And they were kind of my best matching ones there. Yeah, so that's the plan. Do I want to use... Let's see. This is my giant sticker book. I think I've shown it a while back. This is how I kind of organize them all. And yes, I need to go through and use them. But I'm wondering about if there's some in this little sticker book here. I have not added to it. Excuse me, I just drank some kombucha, so I'm sorry. I'm wondering if there's like just a few of these in here, because these actually match a little bit. Some kind of spring ones. Oh, I might even use these. Trying to use some of these up here. So may do that. And yes, let's talk about this last week. So I did not, if you can tell, I have not written a single thing in here for this last week because that's how it's been. Excuse me. Let's see. We went and got our global entry cards that make it easier to come in and out of the country. So so in the Seattle area, you can go to the airport. I might have mentioned this last time. I don't know. I honestly do not remember last week at all about what I talked about here. I opened this up and I think it's very lovely. I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to look at it more often, but we decided to drive up to a town called Blaine, which is right on the Canadian border. It's a building, probably 10 miles south of it. So it's not like you're stuck in like you accidentally cross the border when you're just trying to get this identification. So my son and I got through really quick. And we just got our cards today. So I think we applied on the 30th, March 30th. And yeah, we already have cards in hand today is the 12th. So that's less than 2 weeks. Now my husband's, on the other hand, his was more complicated. So I think it's just routed into a system that just had more information to process. I own my own business. And so they ask you like, what's your employment over the last 3 or 5 years? And so mine was really simple. It's just one place. But for my husband, it's like multiple. And then my son, it's just student, right? So yeah, we just want to make it as easy as possible for when we come back and visit and that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that was like an hour and a half. We probably waited because we had appointments. You do need to make an appointment. Probably waited 10 minutes after checking in. So probably the whole thing took half an hour total. And it was pretty quick. And yeah, let's see. So that also comes with TSA pre-check. So we're hoping that also helps us get through security a little easier as well, because of the impending move. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, I didn't even get to like look at like any of this. So those appointments. And then what happened? On Monday, we had signed up to use, over in the Netherlands, they have real estate people called maklers. And so we had signed up with this company to do so, and they started sending us a few options on Monday. And the first two options were amazing. Like, we would take them in a heartbeat. We did not expect even something that nice. And so they scheduled us for, I'm going to write these down now that they've happened. It was a 1:15 a.m. was one. And that, actually, I'll put it with the person. So that was that person. And then the next time, the next night was 3:15 a.m. That one was hard to stay. We actually did stay up, and that was with both realtors. And so we didn't even get a chance to put them on here because we've just been going back and forth and staying up. And like, this one wasn't too bad. This is our spring break. And so it was pretty easy to just hang out. And the viewings are like 10 minutes. So they go through with their phones, and they just show all around and show all the individual pieces. The little details, not the pieces, the details of the spaces and everything. And then we could watch them later and stuff. And that's been so handy. And then the second one we went to, just as gorgeous. I mean, they both, first we were just amazed we got showings, because sometimes it can be like, sometimes you can't even get a showing. It's just so kind of hard to get a place over there. So, but when we saw this very first one, we thought it was amazing. And you can only put one offer on a place at a time, and then they need to like release you, and then you can go and put an offer somewhere else. So we love this first one so much that we put an offer, and we had to wait. And so we went to this one as well, just in case they said no. This one was absolutely amazing. Like, even when we were touring around and asking some questions, they're like, yeah, this is just stunning. Or like, they're both just what we had in mind. Well, the first one was beyond what we had in mind. We didn't even know that was possible. And so then we're kind of waiting here, and they're like, you know what, we could, and we're dealing with a 9-hour time difference. So it's almost like their next day, they could wait till the next day, but we were going into our next, like, it's just hard to think about which day it is. So not only being sleep deprived, then my son actually went up and visited my mom from the Wednesday to Thursday, which was perfect timing. We didn't even realize this was going to be happening then. It just, something was in the air this week that we just went with it. And we didn't hear back until here that they're like, yeah, the first place was a thumbs up. We had to still kind of go back and forth. There was a little bit of negotiation, but then by Friday morning, they were like, yep, it's all, you got it. So we didn't even apply to the second one. It was a great backup. And they even said that this place needed to have some work done on it. So work done, like the floors just needed to be redone. And so it would have lined up along, they both had like the same start date, really, which was what was ideal for us. And I'm trying to think, like, Yeah, by Friday morning, we were just in shock. Like, we're still a little bit in shock. So we're still, they're putting the paperwork together on Monday because they very much, like, it was pretty much end of day Friday when we actually heard the official news. And so we signed a letter of intent saying, yes, we agree to all these terms. But we signed the lease like Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere around in there because we need to transfer money and stuff like that. So, so as of right now, we are like 90% sure everything's just fine. Like, and we had heard such good things about this duo who went out. They were phenomenal. They were absolutely phenomenal. And calmed me down as well because it got really real, real quick. And I needed that, but I also freaked out a little bit. And that's okay. I freaked out. I explained why I was freaking out. They talked me down a little bit like this. Hey, we understand this. Times are a lot right now, and we will, if anything super horrible happens, we will tend to it, So yeah, Friday we were just like in a daze, and then today's Saturday, and we were waking up trying to, like, there's not much we can do this weekend. Nothing's official. We can't like use the address yet, but once we sign the lease, then we can, use that address in our paperwork for our visa. So, and that was pretty much the biggest thing we needed to do. I went over like all the qualifications again, looked at everything again, like going, is this going to work? It's a little too late, if there was something weird, but I went through just the official government websites and people who help go through these visas, and I'm like, we have all the things. We can do this, so yeah, it's just, it's going to sink in next week. It really is. Like right now I'm trying to also enjoy the moment, because we have this very small window, probably this weekend, to go, this is what's happening. And we can celebrate that. And then we have to get rid of everything in our house. So, which, we've been slowly doing, but now we just have to like ramp it up. And I think we needed this confirmation in order to go, yes, we're doing this. So we don't need 90% of the stuff here. We just don't. And then we just started looking like very briefly at furniture over there because we're going to need to figure out beds real quick. But after like the beds are in there, I feel like the rest we can kind of figure out. But that's like the most important thing. And we'll have the summer to kind of like settle in, and I cannot wait to share this place with you. Now, if for any reason something happens, I feel like we still have time to like if we don't get this signed early next week, I don't know what would come up. I don't know. Then I feel really confident to go back to these, to this company, and they'll find us something else, right? So, and it may take longer. I do feel we were extremely lucky to find the places now, and just so excited. We've been planning for this for a while, and it just feels really good to have something solidified and it's so inspiring to see it, because I don't know, I want to share it with you guys at some point. It's not going to be, I'll do some vlogging there and it'll be in the background, and I'll show like out on walks and things, but it's the property is not meant to be commercialized or anything. So it kind of made me start thinking about maybe I want to document here a little bit more. Our place is not fancy, but it'd be really interesting to see that change, to like vlog a little bit more here. I have just like a couple of videos, but just to do it a little bit more, to just kind of remember this place. It's just kind of a darker house, and so it's been really hard to, I don't know, and we've been here over 7 years. So it's been something where having a family, you just get amass all this clutter, and we cannot wait to get rid of that. It's a lot of work that we're going to have to do, but it's also something we really, really welcome, and to kind of start fresh again. And to us, like to me, and I know for my husband and my son too, when things are clean, they do feel mentally better. But we just have so much stuff. And so I'm glad I've gotten rid of stuff so far. I'm also glad to have visited and to kind of know like, well, this stuff won't really work there. And now that we've seen the place, and we haven't visited this place in person. Like, there's a lot of trust here, but I do trust because of how professional everything is like going. And yeah, it's a lot. I think it's kind of sunk in halfway, but I do feel like this inner peace instead of as much dread and wondering, like, to me, when I finally see and start picturing what our future is going to be like, it brings a lot of peace. Because, I'm a planner. So long story short, once we sign a lease next week, I think I'm going to be starting a series on how we're planning for this move, because we aren't quite as far as we'd want to be. So it is going to have to accelerate, as I said, like just really go. But also I want to share some lists and planning. It's going to be in a different planner, although I may have some to-do lists in here. So we'll see. I just remembered we made some fried rice tonight, so I was going to put in some of and then we had salads last night. Then what did we do Thursday? Oh, we just fended. We were so tired. We just like, fending to me is a little different than leftovers, because there may be a couple leftovers, but it's not like pure leftovers. And then Wednesday we did have, I had some fish and chips. We went out. Because our son wasn't here, it was like, okay, let's eat out at a place he doesn't really like. And so I ended up watching a YouTube video right before we had dinner, and it was all about the best fish and chip places here in Seattle. And there could be many of those videos out there. This guy was pretty casual about things. He had cooked in a couple of them, but I am a huge fish and chips person. And so it was like, when you break open a fillet of fish there that, has just been cooked in, I turned to my husband, I'm like, are you as hungry as I am? Because I don't think you are. This is very much, I'm looking for like juicy, flaky, like when they break it open. It doesn't have to be like this thick coating or anything, but to me, I was getting so hungry for fish. And he's like, no, this doesn't do it to me. I'm like, yeah, I think like burger videos would do that for him. Like, and that doesn't, like, I like a burger, but it's not really like the top of the things for me. So I found it funny. And then what did we have before that? Did I cook anything? I don't remember. Maybe it's here. 7th was Monday. Oh yeah, we just got something quick in the car on the way home. So what did we have Tuesday? Oh, that was the... No, we had that earlier. Now I don't even remember what we had. Oh well. I'll figure that out later. But just to have one thing on here that we don't quite know. And then I don't really remember what we're having tomorrow night. I do know we had an order for groceries today, and it brought us back to, we're doing some reminiscing lately. So we used to grocery shop on Saturday nights before we had our son, and it was just so quiet. It was really nice. And the grocery store that was near us was opened, was it 24/7? I'm trying to remember. But it was open really late. And I also remember that was the grocery store that I need that. That was the grocery store that I walked around for hours when I was in labor. And I didn't quite know it. It was funny. I was like, went to a checkup because they were monitoring me pretty closely. My blood pressure was kind of high. And so they had just monitored me probably around 1 o'clock. And it was not too far. Let me think. Oh, no, it was a bit of a drive between our house and the hospital. And so I went, oh, you know what? We should stock up on some things. And then I just started walking around the store going, I need to stock up on everything. And I think my mind knew, like, this was the last time I'd be able to shop. I don't know what was going through my mind, but I was just like, yeah, we need some Desitin, for baby rash stuff. And we need, like, all this food. We need, I don't know. It just all kind of was like, yeah, you need this and you need to get ready. And then, so I didn't feel too much. I'm going to make these different colors. Oh, Easter's this coming weekend, the 20th. So maybe this is kind of like Easter colors here. I didn't even realize that. So yeah, when I got home, I brought all the groceries in. It was the biggest grocery bill I ever had. I think it was like these were the year 2010 prices, it's like, oops, got a little out of the line there. So $400, it was over $400. And I was like, wow, I've never had a bill that high before. So I brought it home. My husband was still at work, and I just remember putting it all away. So I just kept moving. I didn't feel much. And then I sat down, and then I'm like, oh, something's happening. So that was like around 5. And then I think he came home around 6:30, and I'm like, I think things are progressing. And it was about a week early. And so, which was fine. It was like, he was fully baked, ready to come at any point anyway. But yeah, it's just those quiet times for, yeah, we would shop at like midnight on the weekends because we were night owls. And it was, so we decided to have a late order today on a Saturday night just to kind of go back to. Now, we will not be able to do that when we move. The grocery stores, the supermarkets, are not. They're barely open after 6, and you need to get in there before like even 5:55. They don't want you hanging out. So, yeah, but technically, from what we can see, we will be able to just walk down the street and get our groceries. That's what really drew us to that area, was just, it's gorgeous, and also just I really wanted to walk very easily to things, because sometimes I have some tough days, and you know, I wanted to be able to still be able to do that if my husband's off working and my son's in school. Let's see, I'm trying to decide if I want to put those up there. I don't think so. Like, I'm thinking I might just highlight on the top. Let's start with blue. Let's go blue, pink, yellow to match those. And we'll just do that this week. It'll be very colorful, but also simple. So blue first, blue, pink. Okay. And do I want to highlight more than that? I think I just want to do short. Just keep them short because I don't want to get too wavy with it. Like, this was not going well. So blue, pink. I know I could probably do the other ones, but I want to see how this looks first. Yeah, I think I'll just keep doing that. Yeah, it'll be nice to end with a blue here on the weekend. Sorry, I'm off the screen, but it does feel rather Eastery here. Okay, so we are not on spring break this week. So what do I want to highlight with? Blue. Because there's a lot of blue and pink here with a dash of yellow. I mean, they're all, to me, the blue and pink are bigger. So I think I want to do blue to do the hours. Back to it. My son's a little sad, but we also had like a huge week. We feel lucky to have taken kind of our spring break a little early, which was our trip. And so we kind of feel like we don't feel so bad about not going anywhere, although we did get in the car and we did get to see, north of Seattle. We couldn't see any of the tulip fields up there. They were in full bloom. But we didn't have time to stop. We've gone twice up there, and they do make it very Netherlands-like. It's very Dutch with the windmills up there, and so we'll have to go when it'll be in a year because they're flowering over there right now, so we will be too late for it this year. Let's see. I feel like the little circles are I want to kind of fill them in a little bit. I haven't done this before, but the blue's light enough that I can still see everything. And then I think I'll use, let's see, we can use yellow or pink. I was gonna say pink, but now I think yellow. Okay, so we had both last week. So this week is recycling. Yeah. So at 8 o'clock, I'm just more of in a blue and yellow mood right now, I guess. And then recycling there. And I'll check our order here for the order delivery here. I'm trying to think what I can use pink with on here. I do just feel really weird right now, being so calm and just sitting here amongst all of our stuff I just feel this really like eye of the storm kind of calm where we've had so much rushing around us. This is our little pause moment, and then we're going to have everything swirl around us again until we're out of the storm. So that's just kind of how we're feeling. Oh, I'll use pink on Sunday. I'm not sure exactly when we'll go up there. Usually it's like 2. We might do 1. You know what? I'll just kind of highlight the hours that I think we'll be there and not worry about it too much. I think it's somewhere around in there. And then I can add, you know, more or less, because we need to do, we're doing a roast. And so we're going to have to get in the oven a little early, and then we'll stay probably not too much past dinner because there's school the next day. So, yeah, that worked out really well because then there's still some pink in here. So it kind of is good to kind of get the lay of the land. I need to see if I have any appointments. No, this is, I thought there was something here. There's what I'm thinking of. Oh, and I have my infusion coming up. I was going to see about moving this though. I need to make a phone call tomorrow. There's something that we do need to check on that kind of depends on when we can leave. And so I need to check in on that. So let's go back here. This is a happy coincidence here. I have to say this whole week has been happy coincidences. And, oh, this green is a little off. I don't think I want to use this green. I think I'll just use other things. I don't think that pink is going to work. Pinky purple, lavender. Oh, I think the lilacs are about to bloom. So, hoping for that. We had an incident with our lilac last year. So we had been growing this lilac. We had gotten it from somebody here in the neighborhood, and we let's see. So we had a lilac growing for about 4 years. It was gonna, like 4 years in our backyard, and then we had someone, well, they come every year to do a yard clean out, and when they left, it was gone. And like this thing was 4 feet high, but there's a tree right above it, and so they were trimming all over the tree, and I think they just accidentally like picked up too much of it. But I think they tried to cover their tracks because like the whole thing was gone, like to the roots, and they might have even dug it out too. Like, we're like, what is going on? So we complained, and they replaced it with a mature lilac tree, but I don't think we're going to be able to see any of the like to see it bloom this year, because it usually takes like a couple years for it to establish. And I think I need to go out and check because it's kind of hiding around the corner of the house, and it would be amazing if I'm going to put this off center, because when I wrote these, it was nice to put them on this side to line up on this side last week. So that was the only thing I moved. It was in the middle, and there's still like some sticky stuff there, but I liked having it kind of like that. So that's what I'm going to do that week. And I might also, let's see. So tasks for me are things I do outside the house, correct? No, to do. I said the exact opposite last week. I'm confused. So do I want to put anything here? A highlight here? No, I think I just want to put these more flush to the side. And I'm going to stack them this week. I'm going to do things a little different. And I'm going to see how this goes. So I've kind of been just doing 2 lists. Here I want like to do and tasks to just go kind of more horizontal. Maybe I'll have like little mini tasks lists. So we'll see how that goes. But this just kind of feels good for the moment. And then meals up here. I think I'll put this to the side too. I don't want that there, so I think I normally do that there, so I think I'll try it on that. So everything's kind of left aligned right now. And then I just kind of wing this spatially. I always tried to do like a lot less space there than I expect, and I still am like, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. I still feel like I squish in the last 2 S's there. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I do balance for balancing the books. My brain is just mush right now. So, I did meal plan today because we did that and we went out and got the groceries. And yeah, I feel like it's a Sunday because I changed the sheets, I washed my hair, I did laundry, I did all these things, but yeah, my brain is so full, but it's also very calmly full. And then I'm going to take a whole bunch of donations. I'm going to work really hard on donations tomorrow. And then take them Monday because they are filling up one of our cars. So for Bridge, I think I've said this once, but Bridge is like anything, any actions I'm taking that help us with our move and our transition to live in another country. It sounds so weird to say that because it's still, it just doesn't quite feel real, even though like our hearts are just like in it. But yeah, so I would say I wasn't balancing much because there weren't many like and I was also thinking I want to put dots. I've been doing X's. This is my weird week. I've been doing X's because to me the X clearly means like no. I know a lot of people use, this is a very your preference thing. A lot of people like to put X's to say I did something. I am not that person. To me, an X is like that canceled. That did not happen that time is an X to me. But since I've been filling in these front pages with dots, like right here, I was thinking about going to dots because I love how clean this looks. If I had put X's here, it'd been way too much. But I do feel like I want to try dots, and I could always make them X's, but the X's made it really clear to me. The dots kind of sometimes look a little wishy-washy. It's like, did I? I don't know. Sometimes it just looks like the pen touched the paper accidentally. So today is Saturday, so yes, we meal planned. Yes. Bathrooms tomorrow. And I might do some donations here in a little bit. Definitely been bridging all this week, doing bridge activities, getting our ducks in a row, and finding a place. So all day, all week. And I have to look at the rest of this. I'm pretty sure, I've been logging in every day, but it's like middle of the month stuff that everything's kind of on autopilot. I think we meal planned at the beginning of the week, But then these are kind of like dots. See, I don't really like the dots as well. Because I know what it is. It's because the grid doesn't match. I'm going to have to do X's. The grid behind it doesn't match. And so, yeah, that's why I was doing X's. I knew there was something subliminal in my mind going, why am I doing X's here? Because the dots just don't work here. If it's in a grid, the dots work, but not here. So, yeah. But on Monday, tomorrow and Monday, I'll definitely get all the books in order, and then I don't know if it was Monday. Was the last time? I think I washed my hair Monday. What was that? It was a while. I knew it was getting time. Let's see. I go every like 5 days sometimes. Curly hair. Sometimes you can do that. And then laundry. I thought I did some earlier this week. Did I do some Tuesday? Monday we were driving all day, so no. Just trying to catch up on all this. And yeah, donations I really haven't been. Yeah, see, everything's getting a little out of whack here. And the X's help see that like these aren't lined up. There we go. I feel like I did a lot. I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Okay. And then we'll see if I do some donations tonight. Okay. We are... Oh, that's what I made. Pad Thai. Chicken pad Thai. It was a really good batch, too. Cool. Okay. Getting caught up here. And then these all happened. And then... Okay. Okay. We're getting caught up. So... Oh, the question is, do I want to highlight down the side? I probably wouldn't do it if it wasn't going to be Easter. But I think I do. I think I do. So, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. Let's see if I calculated that correct. So, pink is next. So, we'll put pink. Pink, and then yellow, and yellow. Also, I need to, I like that. Yeah, as long as it's not like all the way across, that feels pretty good. So some of the things I forget to do are like putting these in, highlighting those. All these kind of things I fill in when I transition tomorrow. And then what I miss here often is doing the weather. And I don't know what the weather's going to be like here. Let's see. We are in April. I am having trouble telling what month it is because we've been talking about different months. We've been talking about May, June, July, August. So let's see. We are... 12th, so we need 14th. Oh, we have a bunch of sun. Look at that. Okay. So we have kind of a cloudy day the Monday, but then the rest is sun. So we have 63, 46. Same thing again, but more sun. And then it gets a little cooler, huh? 55, 44, 63, 43, 67, 46, gets a little cooler here. 53, 41. And then some more rain comes in. Okay. Well, that's cheerful. I think, just a thought that crossed my mind. It would be nice to use this yellow a bit more, maybe on all the weeks where the 14th is cloudy. But then just putting like a little sun. On these. So I know like that's kind of cloudy. That would be nice to have. So I'll just like put a little blue on there for a cloud. But if I did rain, I think I would do this in blue, like put little lines like the last time. Cool. Okay, so I do know that I'm just trying to decide if I should do the other planners. Let's see. It's been 46 minutes. I've been talking a lot. I don't think I'm going to do them this week. I could do my weeks really quick. The other one takes a little while, so I do have them here on my desk. Where do I want to set this down? Right there. So, hang on a quick second. Okay, so here is this planner, and since we don't have stickers, I'm going to put these in. So our family's been very excited about the new magic card set just came out. I am more a fan of the cute animals. And so they had a whole set last year. I think I might have mentioned it when it came out. That had bunnies and squirrels, and they had bats and frogs and all that kind of stuff. But the most recent one has dragons in it, and my son was really into it, and he's playing it right now, so that's why he's actually playing with my husband. So they're talking from different rooms, so I find it funny. I'm trying to see how far I want to put this tape because I want to write things here next to it. Do I want to kind of do half? Let's go here. Sort of there. It's a little weird. Let's see. Where's my scissors? I kind of want to cut this off a little different. It's funny. I hear my husband laughing. Yeah, they're playing against one another, which is cute, right? There. I just wanted, that looks better. So sometimes we all play. I mean, in the digital version that they're playing, you can only play two. But we have cards that we want to take with us so we can play. And I got to see if the biggest thing I'm trying to figure out is do I go early and set some things up? So that's what we're trying to weigh out right now. And that's part of our planning that's upcoming here. I think I'm going to do, okay, let's go in the same order here. So blue, and then pink, and then I can see the two highlights that I do every week, and so I know where to put them. Oh, ding. Oh. He's asking for more time because he's playing, but it's about bedtime. So, and then yellow here, and yellow. And then, do I keep the bottom plain? I think there's something about this being plain here that looks really pretty with this. And then maybe leaving that too. So I'm going to write these out. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, and I think I'll put the other info in later. But yeah, I think that will do it. Let's see. Should I do the other? That one didn't take long, right? That did not take long at all. And I also realized I barely wrote anything down last week. So I am kind of very behind on things. Okay, so, I mean, I'm going to sit here and do them. So I'm just kind of like, do I do them on camera or do I not? And yeah, this won't take long since I'm not doing many stickers. I have so much stuff right next to me. I got everything out of the closet again and I'm going through it all again. And like seeing what is our best gear to survive over there. Like in terms of, I mean, we live in the Pacific Northwest, so we have coats and things, and but it's a little different when you are not in a car. I've talked about this already because this pile of stuff is still here and it's I'm still going through it. But I'm trying to see what is this next period of my life going to look like and how do I want to show up in it? What kind of person do I want to be? Let's see if I can do that down the side and I think we'll be done. So blue, pink, yellow, blue, pink, yellow. We'll do the pink. The last thing I'll talk about is we've been watching some shows. Since we had to stay up so late, we watched Wheel of Time that we needed to catch up on. And it's pretty good. I only thought there was a season 2 out, so we got done with season 2 like right before one of our like really late meetings, that 3 a.m. one. And they're like, oh, there's a whole other season. And I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, the current season is coming out right now. So yeah, I guess that didn't take long and it's very, very cute. So yeah, that's what you can do. Sometimes you just need some washi tape and you can use whatever highlighters you want. There's some really good ones by Mr. Pen. They're like, the markers themselves are kind of rectangular, kind of, they look squarish. Those have just as beautiful colors here. They have some really good pastels and it comes in like a long piece. I would show it to you, but it is buried deep under all this stuff next to me. So, you know, you don't need Tombows. The Tombows last a long time. I'm amazed how well they work. But yeah, you don't have to. So here's my business one. And then I'll put this one away. That'll make me happy this week. And then here is my health planner. Like right here, it moves around a little bit in here. So there is that one. And then these two here. So, oh, these are both out. Let's see. So that is the horizontal. This is the vertical and then the horizontal. So, I think I'll put this in here and then the other one generally I put back here for notes. So I'll put that one back there. And yeah, happy Easter, everyone. Easter Sunday is coming here. Actually, I'll put this down here for now. And I hope everyone is getting to notice the spring blooms. In some areas, I know there's blooms year round, but here in the Pacific Northwest, we are deep into tulips. We had the daffodils, now we're more in the tulips, and then now the lilacs. Well, the magnolias are just kind of in the middle and finishing up. I didn't notice the azaleas as much. They come a little early as well. I like to just kind of notice them. And yeah, now it's going to be lilacs into, like, what else is kind of coming up? Their crocosmias are gorgeous, but they're more like in July. They're the red ones. I'm trying to think. I try to put them as like recurring items on my calendar, my digital calendar, just so that I can kind of see what's popping up. So let's see. We have tulips and azaleas. Maybe the azaleas are kind of coming out now. I'll have to check my neighborhood because it slightly differs no matter where you are. Sometimes things can be a little different. I know my family in Portland, I think they're getting things a little bit more. Oh, the cherry blossoms and things are already, I think they're done here, the cherry blossoms, but there are still some blossoms on some trees. The apple blossoms kind of come up a little later. So, and the plum, I don't think we have many pear trees around here. Some people do. So anyway, I would love to hear what is blooming in your neighborhood, or just if you have some happy plants around you, what you're enjoying, because I think it's fun to talk about plants, and I'm excited to get some new ones and say goodbye to the old ones. So if you enjoyed this, please consider liking it and possibly subscribing on the way out. And until next time, big hugs to everybody, and I'm going to get the planning our move stuff coming, but this week we just were trying to nap when we could, try to rest when we could, and try to ride the roller coaster of our journey. Take care, everyone. Bye.